Guys, my name is Madison, and I would just like to thank you for tuning into my presentation. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now so that we can hop right in. So the government agency I'm going to be talking about today is the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Agency. I'm going to start off with a brief history. It was created within the Health and Human Services Department, and it was created in 1992 in order to replace the Alcohol, Drug Abuse, and Mental Health Administration. Prior to 1992, this administration changed names and components a lot, so the federal government decided to settle down and create SAMHSA. The goal of SAMHSA is to offer resources and guidance to programs that treat substance abuse and mental illness. It also aids programs to reduce the negative impact that substance abuse and untreated mental illness has on the community. An amazing facet of this agency that I'm going to be talking about is the Projects for Assistance in Transition from Homelessness program. A brief history on PATH. It is part of the first major federal legislative response to homelessness, and it was authorized by the 21st Century Cures Act in 2016. And you might be wondering, what is PATH? PATH is a block grant that is funded federally by SAMHSA. The funds are allocated to all 50 states as well as all U.S. territories, such as Puerto Rico, and local organizations can apply to become a PATH provider. I went ahead and created this infographic for you just so that you understand the organizational structure of the PATH program. So like I said, it started at the Department of Health and Human Services, goes down to SAMHSA, is allocated to states and U.S. territories, and down to local organizations that can apply to be a PATH provider. And then those funds are used by the organization to help the clients that qualify for their services. So PATH's mission is to provide additional mental health benefits that are not currently being utilized in mainstream health programs. Their goal is to fund the services for people who have serious mental illness that are also experiencing homelessness. So the main client systems that they target are people with untreated mental illness who are also chronically homeless. The services that they provide are outreach programs within the community targeting homeless populations, screening for mental illnesses and substance abuse disorders, and then advocacy and education on those subjects in those local communities that they're located in. They focus on rehabilitation for mental illness and substance abuse disorders, and they provide habilitation. Habilitation is a system that increases life skills that help maintain a stable and functional life for clients. Examples of habilitation services would be physical or speech therapy. They also use their funding to treat mental illnesses through therapy and medication in professional healthcare settings. I think the most important service that they can provide is case management. And we know that case management is important because it makes the client a priority, and it gives them a chance to stay accountable and understand their personal goals on a more intimate level. They also provide services such as referral systems for job opportunities, education such as GED programs, healthcare providers and healthcare services, and housing. Regardless of whether it's temporary or permanent, they have referral systems to help find both. So there are eligibility requirements to be a part of the PATH program. According to their website, they said you must be homeless or at risk of homelessness / live in a shelter, and you or any of your family / household members must be facing mental illness. So there is a means test. It's in the form of a questionnaire. It's not documented or anything, but it is available at this link that I have listed below. So I went ahead and screenshotted the questions of the questionnaire. So the first part of it is our background questions that are based solely on current housing. So I'll give you a second to look over those. And so the second area of questions are regarding current health status. So there are a lot of things that are listed that you can either check that you have or not. And regardless of whether or not you are eligible for the PATH program, this website will link you to local resources that might better suit your needs. And I think that's awesome. So now that we know what PATH is, we can talk about the PATH programs. PATH programs are located in 500 organizations across the US. They have helped 139,515 individuals in 2017 and enrolled 73,246 eligible clients with services according to their website. And before we get into feedback, I just want to say that since the PATH program is practiced in local organizations, we must understand that feedback will be completely different at all locations. So I took feedback from Metro Care Services located in Dallas, Integral Care of East Austin, the Harris Center Southwest Community Service Center in Houston, MHMR Tarrant County in Fort Worth, and Search Homeless Services located in Houston. So this is a very positive review for the Metro Care Services. Leanne states that all of their staff is well educated. I could really connect to my therapist and their program saved my life. However, this next piece of feedback is quite negative. They said, and please get some decent counselors. I could do a far better job than them. Go elsewhere. This next piece of feedback is another positive review. It says, but if it wasn't for sliding scale payment options and the place even existing, I might not have been capable of writing this review. And I think this one's quite touching. But here comes along another contradictory claim saying that MHMR Tarrant County, they focus on money and not serving the individual receiving report. So to end this feedback portion, I'm going to end on a positive note. Sarah says that the range of support, comfort, and learning is broad from this group and served first with understanding and dignity. And I believe that understanding and dignity are what each PATH provider should strive to serve every day. So to conclude the feedback portion, we saw that there were mixed reviews, but we have to remember that they're based on each individual organization, and keep in mind that feedback is important for future clients to determine whether or not they want to seek help from the organization. So by looking at the feedback, we can now address the gaps in the social welfare system. The first major gap that I noticed was consistency. As we can see by the contradictory claims by multiple users, PATH, I think, must vet organizations more thoroughly before funding, because that ensures quality care and the integrity of the program. So the next major aspect of gaps are the cost of care. The PATH program should be affordable for low or no income individuals. And like Harback said, the sliding scale fee system worked perfectly for him. The sliding scale fee system allows clients to pay for their services based on their low incomes on a weekly or monthly basis. And most people that are eligible for the sliding scale fee system fall below the poverty line. So it's important to implement sliding scale fees in all PATH programs. And so what are the program outcomes? How do we know that it's working? According to the PATH annual report data for fiscal year 18, 95.4% of the population left the program with long-term mental health services, and 75.9% of that population left the program with long-term substance abuse disorder treatment services. And that's awesome. Those are really high numbers. And we have to take a step back and look at what people came into the program with. So 36.9% of the clients served came into the program with mental health services, and only 12.4% of the clients came in with substance abuse treatment services. So the numbers are pretty high. And then here's a continuation. 36.6% of the clients were referred to services that aided them in receiving permanent or temporary housing, but they also used services such as employment and income assistance and medical and dental insurance. So the significance of what I've learned about this agency is very great for me. I'm going to go ahead and share a statistic. About a quarter to a third of the homeless population have a serious mental illness, usually schizophrenia, bipolar, or severe depression, and the proportion is growing. By acknowledging that these issues go hand in hand is extremely important in the way that we combat homelessness. I also learned that grant programs like this are put into place based on location and population density. I like this because local organizations can build bonds with their communities and within their client base as well. And more clients are able to be served in densely populated areas. And so, what I've noticed in the city that I live in, Austin, Texas, I see a huge homeless population. And with a program like PATH, I know that they're able to receive support for their mental illness and homelessness. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my references. And I just want to thank you again for watching my presentation. Have a great day.